Here, this is LordPotato, and this is what if Naruto was trained by the strongest out there, LordPotato. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to, I don't know. Okay, so this is part two, and goddamn, there's a lot of people really wanting part two. Yeah, I thought no one really want this. Um, Probably because, uh, your favorite potatoes out here being in the what if and breaking the fourth wall every damn time. But other than that, let me just go into the what if and shut the fuck up. But before I go into the what if, go subscribe to Anime Sensei, Iconic What If, Obito What Ifs. There are links for me in the description. And yeah. Um Also, I'm going to do later what if Naruto decide to only train in Taijutsu, part 4. But in part 4, I'm actually gonna add a character that you're probably gonna know from One Punch Man. Just think of Garjay versus someone that fought against the centipede. Now, if you know who that is, then good. If you don't know who that is, then I'll tell you later when I actually make part 4 of that. Okay. But other than that, let's begin. So we go into Naruto, kind of just saying hello there, Gigi. This is where Hiruzen says, Naruto. He remembers the boy now. He remembers Naruto. He remembers him everything. He remembers a young boy being happy, smiling, sometimes eating ramen with him, kind of fishing. Well, when Naruto kind of fishing and giving the fish to Hiruzen, the young boy that was smiling, that wouldn't even hurt a fly, is now right in front of him, easily taking out Ambus, S-rank missing ninjas, or even S-rank ninjas from, Kuma or even the Stone. Just here, right in front of him, with a sword that glows with sparkling lightning, with such bridal power, his eyes shining into the darkness of his cloak, and right now grinning at Hiruzen. This is where Hiruzen says, Naruto? This is where Hiruzen wanted to just break down in that point. In that point, he wanted to just break down. He wanted to apologize to Naruto of how terrible he has done in taking care of Naruto. He felt so bad. When Naruto disappeared about, 5 years ago, when he disappeared 5 years ago, he kind of became depressed that year. That year when Naruto was 8, when he turned 8, but now he was depressed. He was severely depressed. Now that Naruto's right now in front of him, he doesn't understand. Why? Where have Naruto been? He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand anything. Did Naruto come back from the dead? He doesn't understand. But this is where, Hiruzen, he decides to pull out, kind of keep using his bow staff, just in case Naruto dared to attack him again. And Naruto, what he did is put his sword right in front of Hiruzen. Like, not right in front of him, like, he just put it in front of, himself. Just like, putting the tip of the sword in front of Hiruzen, kind of like pointing at Hiruzen. And, of course, this is where Naruto kind of just lets go of putting lightning chakra into it. And of course, it just like goes back into the black blade. Now, the black blade, not black blade, the black handle. Now, what it looks like a dragon, but instead of being a normal, typical dragon, it's a dragon head. Of course, it has like a dragon tail in at the bottom of the handle, but all that. It has the dragon mouth, and the lightning comes from the dragon's mouth. Now, of course, the dragon is black, like the handle's black, like the color of the dragon's black, but his eyes are like purely like turquoise blue, like lightning, like a very very kind of lightish bluish color. So of course that's what it looks like, and that's when he puts the lightning chakra, the blade turns into a lightning blade from the dragon's mouth. But when he lets go of using lightning chakra, it just turns back into just looking like a normal handle. Think of it like a lightsaber, okay? Think of it like a lightsaber, okay? But of course, Naruto, he kind of just turns on the lightning chakra. And this is where Naruto says, well, seems that it's been a while, Gigi. This is where Hiruzen, he decides to stand down also. Not knowing what Naruto's going to do next. This is where Naruto appears right in front of Hiruzen. And this is where Naruto says, "So, it's been a while, Hiruzen Sarutobi. It's been a really long time." Naruto kind of like, also I didn't mention that Naruto does have a mask, but Naruto did take that off when he was fighting against Hiruzen. So that's why Hiruzen can see the pure white smile under the shadow a little bit. This is where, well, Naruto just kind of like bends his head to the side and says, "It's been a really long time. You know, it's fucked up seeing you this old. You know, you should probably find yourself a new successor. You could have easily died since how old you are. What are you, 100 now? 200? 400? 300? No, you must be at least 500. And again, I don't really know. Old men." This is where Hiruzen gets a tick mark and gets annoyed. The fact that Naruto is not attacking him, instead just like pulls his blade away, but just annoying. Well, not annoying him, mostly kind of saying he's old. And this is where Naruto says, "It's pretty damn old. You're probably older than the Sage of Sixth Path." Damn. The Sage of Sixth Path being one of the strongest, well, shinobis out there. Well, the one to found chakra. And yet, you're old like him, but at least you're weaker than him. This is where Hiruzen say, "Okay, listen here, you little brat." He gets annoyed because Naruto just keeps kind of telling him his, what's it called? Well, youth is gone. And this is where, well, the Amus and also ninjas that got there were confused because, well, the ninjas that were actually the ones to grab Umi and even Hinata are kind of knocked out. And even Kabuto's there, knocked out also. And even an Ambu that was disguised to save them just in case this ever happened, got also knocked out. And of course, this is where, well, Kakashi, Asuma, Might Guy, and even Kurenai are there. Ambus are there. Uncle Midarashi got there. What's it called? Yugao got there and was confused. What is happening? This is where, well, Hiruzen kind of screams, "Listen up, you little brat. Even though I am old, I am still strong." This is where Naruto says, "Strong. Well, your fragile old bones, I feel like you would have easily kind of broke down if I just would have hit you with a small gust of wind." This is where Hiruzen says, "I'm not gonna die that easily, you little brat." This is where, well, everyone is confused. They're like, "What the fuck? Who is this kid or person? And why is he talking to the, what's it called, Hokage this casually?" This is where Naruto speaks out a little bit louder. "Look here, old man." Or should I say, GG old man. I'm not an idiot. You could probably turn into dust any second for being so old. For being, I don't know, 500 years old. This is where Hiruzen had enough of this and tried to punch at Naruto's head. And this is where Naruto dodges super easily. He like easily did a backflip and jumped and says, "Come on, Hiruzen." While his hood like going down from his head, like going down towards his like back. So Naruto has his hand right in front of him and smiling with his like sharp, well, not even sharp teeth. Mostly they look sharp from an angle, and Naruto's teeth are so white. And this is where Naruto has one of his eyes closed and kind of saying, "Come on, Hiruzen. Do you really have to punch a kid? I'm only 12 and you're over here 500 and trying to attack me." Naruto smiling while saying that. This is where Hiruzen says, "Listen here, you little brat. I don't give a fuck. Stop calling me God. I am not old. I am still young." This is where everyone says, "Huh? Also, who's the hell the kid?" But this is where everyone says, "Isn't Hiruzen like at least like 90?" And everyone's thinking. They're like, "Huh?" This is where Danto says, "Who the hell is that kid? And who, okay, calling Hiruzen old. I mean, yes, Hiruzen is old just like me. But I have never seen Hiruzen lose his cool as much." This is where Naruto says, "Come on, old man. Calm down before you somehow, well, break a hip for being old." This is where Hiruzen says, "Listen up, you little brat. I am not old. This is where Naruto says, you say you're not old, but you know you're lying to yourself. This is where Hiruzen tries to kick at Naruto's head. Naruto ducks easily. This is where Naruto says, you're pretty old. That kick was very slow. This is where everyone says, slow. That kick was so fast that none of them could even see it. Naruto easily ducked so easily. This is where Naruto says, so slow, you know that? This is where Hiruzen says, I'm not old, Naruto. I am not old, you little brat. It's where everyone hears the name Naruto. This is where some people say, who? This is where some people say, huh? This is where Kakashi says, Naruto. This is where he remembers Minister Sun. He was like, oh, because he did get told by Hiruzen when Naruto did went missing. And this is where he says, wait, Sensei Sun, he's not dead, he thinks in his mind. But this is where he says, he is going to die by Hiruzen though. This is where some people are saying, who? Because everyone forgot about who the hell is Naruto. This is where I'm up in the air laughing so hard because of my student right now just kind of trolling Hiruzen. At the point that Hiruzen is having a very mental breakdown at the fact that he keeps being told that he's old. This is where Hiruzen says, listen up, you little shit. I am not old. This is where Naruto says, oh, I know you're not old. You just keep forgetting that you're old. This is where Hiruzen says, listen here, you little shit. Naruto, I am not old. He's screaming out Naruto's name. This is where Naruto says, Naruto kind of just has his pinky in his ear, kind of just like saying, yeah, I hear you loud and clear, blah, blah, blah. I know you're not old, but you know that you just keep forgetting that you're old because you could have done a shadow clone to do your paperwork, but since you're old, you didn't actually realize to do that. This is where Hiruzen goes, This is where he realized he can make fucking shadow clones to do his paperwork, and then he could have spent more time with his family and Naruto. This is where he's like, This is where Hiruzen goes up to a building and pushes the shit up and breaking it. And this is where he screams, ah! He just screams into the fucking air. This is where all of them are going, holy shit, he is pissed. This is where Kakashi appears next to Naruto and says, hey kid, you might want to like run away from Hiruzen. So I'm going to have to keep you from saying any more things. And this is where Naruto jumps up in midair, and this is where he's very limber and pretty easily to jump up higher than Kakashi. And this is where Naruto says, no thank you, because he almost got grabbed by Kakashi and luckily he jumped away. And this is where Naruto says, no thank you, I'm fine. Gray-haired person, what the hell was that? He points at the book, and this is where Kakashi says, this book is, well, for everyone. He says, this book is made by the gods. This is where Naruto, he says, gods. If it's made by gods, then I must destroy it. This is where Kakashi says, wait, what do you mean? Naruto says, what is the book made out of? This is where Kakashi explains that this is about a life of, this is where he explains a bunch of perverted things into the book. And Naruto says, no, I mean with the materials, dumb fuck. Kakashi says, paper and leather? Naruto says, got it. I just burned it with my hand. Come here, give me the book. This is where Kakashi says, wait, what? This is where Kurenai, Yugao, and even all the Kunoichis and even Anbu Kunoichis got annoyed with Kakashi. And they're glaring at the back of Kakashi's head. This is where Kakashi says, sorry kid, I can't give you this book. If I do, I would probably die, because I have the feeling that I will die. Naruto grabs the book from Kakashi anyway, pretty fast, and Kakashi was confused where he left his book. Naruto grabbed the book and says, so this book is made out of leather and paper and ink. So if I burned it, it will be pretty easily to burn if I just use fire. That's where Naruto starts kind of being hungry a little bit. He sees a stand that no one's at, but mostly the stand has like raw fish. And this is where Naruto, he kind of put the book down in the ground, starts burning it, goes through the stand real fast, and grabs like a bunch of fish, like not rotten fish, but raw fish, puts it near the burning book, and starts waiting for his meal to be cooked. This is where Kakashi says, "My book!" This is where all the girls improve and nod because they were actually approving that Naruto did a good job. And Naruto just didn't care about the book. And all the perverted shit that he heard, he was like ignoring Kakashi. The first words that Kakashi said about the book, he just straight up ignored him. This is where, well, Naruto's burning it. And this is where Kurama's screaming in his mind, "Naruto, you're not supposed to burn that book. That book was good. I at least wanted to read a couple pages." This is where Naruto says, "Shut up, I'm hungry. You could have just used fire to burn it easily. Why are you using the book as fire?" To piss off people? Okay, that's true, but you're pissing me off more. This is where Naruto says, "I mean, you count as a fox, so I mean, I'm pissing off a fox." And this is where Kurama says, "Look, your little shit. Even though I can't, well, I mean, I can't get out of body, doesn't mean you gotta burn the book." This is where Naruto says, "I thought you were fucking sleeping. How about you go to sleep?" This is where Kurama says, "Shh, I'm sleeping. Z. And this is where Naruto says, "Are you fucking serious? This fox is annoying." This is where I can actually hear Naruto's thoughts from all the way up in the air because I knew what Naruto was going to be thinking a lot. Because Kurama is usually inside him, so Kurama is going to be screaming out because, well, what Kurama has been doing is not training Naruto most of the time. When he was let go, he was actually in a different human world altogether. Just being a perverted fuck. So, of course, I didn't pay attention much to what he was doing. Demon was the one to pay attention and what he was doing and not cause that much problems for Demon, but yeah. This is where, well, no, what's it called? Kurama didn't want to actually get Demon mad because Demon would have definitely managed to get Kurama up in the air and send him to another dimension just full of nothing but pitch black into the void. Because Demon has the power, if even he can use SCPs, he can also use somewhat Death and Demon abilities like Lucifer and Death himself. But he's only demigod, so yeah. But of course, this is where, Kurama never wanted to do stuff like that, so he never could do perverted things while Demon was on his watch. Demon didn't pay attention much to Kurama, but sometimes just saw what Kurama might have been doing. But yeah. Of course, this is where Kurama just goes, Z, I'm sleeping. This is where Naruto says, "Jesus fucking Christ, stupid fox." This is where Naruto sees his fish being cooked. This is where Naruto starts eating it. Still kind of raw. This is where, he didn't spit it out, he just kept eating it. And this is where he waits more for his fish to be cooked. And this is where everyone is looking at Naruto. Looking at Kakashi almost being killed by like the Anbu girls and also, the Anbu females, Anbu Kunoichi, or not Anbu Kunoichi, Anbu females, Kunoichis, either Jonin, Chunin, or even Genin, or not Genin, somewhere Genin, yeah, even though they have to, they look old, but yeah. This is where everyone was just like, yeah, we should probably not help Kakashi. This is where, they do see Hiruzen kind of just smashing his head saying, "Son of a bitch, I'm old." This is where Naruto, he did kind of like stop eating after kind of eating a couple fishes. This is where he does have the stick, like the little stick thing. And of course, he sent it so fast. Like, it's like okay, you know those, like, a splinter. It's like a splinter. It's like kind of small that Naruto has it because he was kind of pecking in his teeth to get rid of, like, the fish guts or whatever in his teeth. And this is where he sent it so fast. He just flicked it so fast, knowing where Danzo would be at. This is where Danzo was saying, this could be the perfect opportunity to get the Leaf Village under my... He gets hit right in the head through his skull, hitting his brain. This is where he cannot function. And this is where Naruto says, wood style, wood spread. Well, not wood spread. Wood, what's it called? Wood spike. This is where when the spike, the little flick of, what's it called? The little splinter. went into what's it called, Danzo's head, into his brain, it turned into growing a little bit out, but this is where it turns into spikes and starts kind of just becoming spiky, and did grow into, well, Danzo's head. Making wood comes out of his head, and this is where Danzo, he lost his control of body because his brain was the most to be affected by the attack, and of course died in an instant. This is where the Shinsui's eye did also get pricked by, well, the spikes of the wood. So of course, this is where Danzo is dead. This is where the root almost was confused, but of course the control under them, because there was a seal on their tongue and also on their head, that if they tried to give any information towards, well, anyone, they would have exploded. And the seal that was on their, what's it called, well, mostly on their tongue, that was the seal to explode. The seal on their head is to keep their emotions in check. And keep, like, a lot of things in check. Mostly emotions. So, yeah. To be kind of emotionless. But, of course, all those seals broke when Danzo died. This is where Naruto says, you just keep eating the fish. And this is where everyone is got them confused. Naruto doesn't care. He seems to just really not care. The book is still burning. Kakashi is right now having a mental breakdown while trying to get away from the Kunoichis. And Hiruzen's also having a mental breakdown. That's where Naruto says, interesting. This is where a bunch of people are looking at him. And this is where Naruto kind of just saw Umi. Kind of got embarrassed because she was kind of starving a little bit. She kind of stood behind her, well, father. Or not her father, her mother. And this is where, well, her father's already dead. Her mother, it was the one to be worried about her. This is where Umi says, hey, Mom, can we go to get food? This is where Umi's mother was kind of just not paying attention to Umi. And this is where Naruto appeared right in front of Umi. This is where he has, well, a cooked fish right in front of her. That's, well, yeah, a cooked fish right in front of her. And says, here. This is where everyone's confused. And sees Naruto right next to Umi. And Umi sees the fish. And this is where she doesn't know if she should grab it. She knows that this is Naruto. She met Naruto a long time ago. But he doesn't, well, not he. She doesn't know if Naruto's running or not. This is where, when Naruto's giving the fish towards her, this is where Naruto grabbed her arm without even asking Umi. And kind of just put the fish there and says, just eat. Stop annoying me. That's where Naruto goes and walks away from Umi, disappears from the crowd, and appears right in front of Kakashi. Kakashi, he is trying to get away from the, what's called Ambus and other Kunoichis. And this is where Kakashi says, I gotta get away from them. They're about to try to kill me. No. I lost my book, though. This is where Naruto appears right behind him, axe kicking him down to the ground because he was in the air, mostly Kakashi. And Kakashi's, like, his face went first to the ground and smashed down. This is where Naruto says, damn idiot, shut up. This is where the Kunoichis managed to get to Kakashi and start beating his ass even though he was unconscious. But Kakashi was still screaming. This is where, well, he felt all that pain. And Naruto, he was going straight to the, well, Hokage. And this is where multiple Ambus still appeared. But this is where Naruto easily kicked their ass. This is where Naruto says, Naruto does a kick, but this kick wasn't normal. It was called recoilless kick. That's what he said in his head. And this is where, when the kick hits the Ambus, it wasn't even hitting the Ambus. There was like, what's it called, a total of 10 Ambus. He just hits the air, Naruto does, and the pressure of, like, what's called a pressure of air kind of goes from Naruto's leg, because the recoilless kick is basically a kick with amount of power to push, mostly like pressure of air, and of course it pushes all the Ambus away. Now, this recoilless kick is from actually Morty Jim Rewind Taekwondo, but yeah. So yeah, the only way Naruto actually know about this is because I actually teach him it, because for me kind of being able to go through dimensions, I kind of just teach Naruto a lot of other things from different animes, but yeah. Or different worlds entirely. This is where, well, Naruto does that, and he gets to Hiruzen, and this is where Naruto says, so, Hiruzen, are you done kind of having a mental breakdown? I know you're old, and probably for being old, you will have so many mental breakdowns, but, you know, if you want to talk about it, we can talk. This is what Harusen says. That is true. We can talk. I want to tell you something, Naruto. Where have I been? Don't know, don't care, and I really don't want to ask or want to even tell you. Harusen says, okay, fine. Why are you here? That's where Naruto says, I never died. Did you think I died? Did you think I went rogue? No, I didn't went rogue. I just stayed in my house for 5 years. Yeah, that's such a great excuse. This is where Harusen says, Naruto, come on, let's. Fine, you know what, Naruto? I just don't care. I'm going back to my office. Since you saved the two the two heiresses, you're fine. You can go back to the academy. Blah blah blah. I'm having a mental breakdown, and I'm just gonna leave. So of course he walks slowly back to his office, and Naruto says, what's up with him? Who cares? That's where Naruto, he started walking off to the gate because, well, he doesn't really need to stay in Konoha and doesn't really care. But he's not even walking towards Konoha. He kind of got up on the, what's it called? He was getting near the gate and everyone sees him. Really, he just kind of put his leg into the wall and started climbing up with his chakra legs. Well, yeah, putting chakra into his legs and kind of walking up the wall. Getting up on top of the, wall and just sitting there. And looking at Konoha. This is where Naruto, he doesn't really hate it. He doesn't want to burn it. Some people, he might want to just kill a bunch of civilians. But really, he doesn't really want to burn it. Even though Konoha has actually gave him so much pain, he doesn't seem to really care about it. He seems to care less about it. He looks up in the air, and this is where he sees me. He waves up in the air, and this is where, well, I just wave back and say, goodbye, Naruto. I'll be watching later. But I need to go somewhere and destroy something. Got it, Naruto. I whispered towards him, and Naruto could hear it from a far away distance. And this is where Naruto nodded and just waved at me. And this is where I disappeared from a portal. To a portal, and this is where, well, Naruto just says, what to do? Sensei already left. Hey, Kurama, what should I do? Kurama says, get those books. Why do you want me to read? No. I don't want you to read normal books. I want you to get those books, like that orange book, or maybe it's a green one. I don't care. Like those books you kind of burn. Yeah, I did burn a bunch of magical books when me and Demon went through a bunch of dimensions. No, I don't mean those books. I mean the Make Out Paradise ones. I'm not going to be reading that garbage. You can come out from that goddamn seal. You can come out into the human world, turn into your humanoid figure, and go read those books by yourself. Kurama says, fine. You little brat. You don't know those books are going to save you one day. From what? To talking any girl. Maybe that Umi girl will be a nice girl for you when you're older. Just where Naruto goes. Sensei wasn't lying when he said that you were very, very perverted. This is where Kurama says, your sensei doesn't know what he's talking about. No, I think he does. But whatever. Get out and just leave me the fuck alone. Kurama, he turns into a ghost. Like, he gets out of Naruto's body like a ghost. Like a mist of orange just get out of Naruto's body. And turns into a human figure. Now, Kurama, he's in his humanoid figure. He has long orange hair. Red slick eyes, but he usually has them closed. Sharp teeth like his fox counterpart. And of course his claws are very long. Because of his like fox fox form. And of course he has long, well, not long. He has like a kimono. He's wearing like an orange kind of reddish kimono. And of course, he has his 9 toes behind him, but this is where he kind of transformed them into just being nothing, because he doesn't want to show that he is the 9 toes, and worry people and confuse people at the same time. But he does have, well, no whisker marks because he put on a genjutsu for that. But yeah. But this is where, well, he says, ugh, look what you did to me, Naruto. I have to go down there, go find those books, but I don't have money. Naruto says, neither do I. Do I look like I care? This is where Kurama says, but this is where Naruto says, maybe steal from the people that I killed. This is where Kurama says, ooh, that is true. This is where Kurama appear next to the dead people, like the civilians that took their money and kind of went to the store for those books. He's just running towards the store mostly. This is where Naruto says, perverted fox. What to do now? Should I go talk to the Hokage, but he seems to be in a mental breakdown. Did I went too far? Nah, I don't give a fuck. I don't know what to do. This is where, well, Asuma appeared next to Naruto and so was smoking right now and saying, you know, kid, you kinda messed up my father. That's where Naruto says, oh, hello there, what's it called? Gigi's son. This is where, well, this is where her, well, mostly Asuma says, calling him Gigi like that. Even though he's not really your grandfather. No, he's only a grandfather figure, but, you know, close enough, right? This is where Asuma says, I guess so. You know, that's pretty messed up and kind of hurting someone so old being, well, at least 500 years old. This is where Horusen is right now kind of having a mental breakdown until he sneezes and then realizes that someone must be talking about him, and it definitely feels like his son talking smack about him again. This is where he says, oh my god, I'm having a mental breakdown about my son, Naruto, and I hope no one else is talking about me. This is where Naruto chuckles and says, I mean, saying that I'm pretty mean and telling your your father that he's 500 years old, and then you saying it, you seem like a hypocrite. Asuma smiles and says, I guess I am. But you know, I'm his son. And Naruto says, and I'm the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. Your point is? It's where Asuma says, I guess there's really no point here. Very interesting, kid. For being gone for 5 years, you seem smarter than normal. And this is where Naruto says, and you seem more depressed than normal. This is where, well, Asuma says, okay, kid, you're really hurting people's feelings here. This is where Naruto says, I'm sorry, but it's just who I am and what my sensei taught me. To hurt people's feelings is the best way. This is where he says, sensei. This is where Naruto says, oh, no one you need to be very cared about. He's not in this village or in this world entirely. So you don't really need to worry about him. Asuma kind of nodded. Asuma kind of nodded slowly. Now I should mention one thing. Naruto's eyes were not in the Sharingan at all. He didn't show his Sharingan even once. But towards Horusen he did, but Horusen thought he was just delusional and right now is kind of having a mental breakdown still. This is where, well, this is where, well, Asuma's kind of nodded and says, I guess so, kid. I guess so. He keeps smoking and of course breathing out like smoke. And this is where Naruto is kind of laying down, having his head, mostly his two hands behind his head and kind of just laying down. And of course this is where Asuma says, so kid, are you really going back to the academy? Naruto says, I'll think about it. I seem to really not care about being a ninja, since I'm already able to kick the shit out of you Jonins and even Ambus. So I might just start to be, you know what I should be? I should be a martial artist. Maybe I should start a business. That will make your father kind of sadder. This is where Horusen says, Asuma says, I guess that will make my father more sadder. Naruto says, maybe not. That's where everyone is confused, but they all just started walking back to their house because, well, more Hyuga members, and even what's it called, not Uchihas. Uchihas already died, but more of family for Umi and her mother came from a clan, from a water clan, and came to see Umi to see if she's fine. And this is where, well, they see that she's fine and the Hyuga heiress is fine. So of course they start just taking them back towards the compound. Ambus started waking up and going back to Horusen's Saratobi's office, and everyone was like going back to being a normal day, somewhat. This is where, well, Kakashi is right now on the ground having a broken arm, broken leg, broken everything, and of course, this is where Mike Guy sees Kakashi and says, "Kakashi, my rival, I will have to take you and give you some of my youth so you can heal faster." This is where, well, Kakashi is unable to say anything and wish he can say something because he doesn't want anything to do with, well, my guy. He wish Asuma was here, but when he looks up, he sees Asuma talking to Naruto. Kakashi's so depressed the fact that Naruto kicked him back down so he can be targeted by the females. This is where he says, I guess this is kind of revenge for not taking care of him. This is where, well, my guy says, but let's go, Kakashi. With the power of youth. This is where, well, Kakashi's like, okay. This is where, well, he's taken to the hospital, but yeah. This is where we go into the next day. And of course, this is where, well, Naruto, he didn't sleep at all. This is where Asuma, he left a while ago to go back to his house, mostly at the compound of the Saratobi. But this is where, well, Naruto didn't leave on the wall. He didn't leave at all. He didn't even sleep even once. He can actually stay up pretty super long at night and not go to sleep. The reason why is because he actually trained with Demon, and Demon doesn't go to sleep for at least 10 days and then goes back to sleep. But Naruto kind of had that bad habit, then also picking up Demon's kind of habit and not going to sleep. Then again, I, in my own Asuka Godslike form, doesn't go to sleep at all neither. So I can't really say it's a bad habit that much. But yeah, this is where, well, what Naruto says, what to do. This is where Kurama is sitting next to him and reading those books, and this is where he's giggling every time Naruto's thinking. This is where Naruto says, oh my god, can you shut up and go somewhere else? This is where Kurama says, I can't. I'm reading these books. They're so amazing. This is where Naruto says, okay, I don't want to hear what you're gonna do with those books. This is where Kurama says, I wasn't going to do anything to the books. This is where Naruto, he kind of just scoots like farther away from Kurama, and Kurama says, whatever, kid. This is where Naruto says, fucking annoying fox. This is where, well, Naruto thinks, what to do. This is where it's kind of like 5 o'clock in the morning, and of course, Horusen is kind of fell asleep in his office, but yeah. And this is where, well, Kurama's still giggling far away. And this is where, well, Naruto, he jumps down to the ground to basically the village, like down below, off the wall. And of course, this is where he lands down. This is where Naruto says, shh, maybe I should steal shit and not care that much. Sensei really did tell me not to give a fuck about anything. So Naruto's walking away, and this is where he hears 2 whispers and saying, thank you. This is where Naruto is confused. He turns around really fast and sees, well, Hinata and Umi. Now, of course, Hinata and Umi, they were going to jump out of the way just because, well, they said it kind of too loud, because they kind of got embarrassed really fast. But of course, they weren't fast enough to jump out of the way, and Naruto saw both of them. Naruto says, so, Hyuga Eris and Uchiha Eris, why are you two here? Or not Uchiha Eris, what is it? I know your last name contains of Uchiha, but what was your actual last name? This is where Umi kind of squealed a little bit and says, the name's Umi Uchiha Atarasu. Meaning, or her last name just means in, well, the English verse, Atlantis. But yeah, I couldn't think of a last name real fast. But if you think about her first name is it just means sea. Her second name is Uchiha, which is the Uchiha clan, and that one, last one, just means Atlantis. But yeah, the empire of like the water. But yeah, this is where Umi squeals a little bit. But yeah, this is where Hinata says, yeah, I want to say thank you. This is where Naruto says, yeah, I really didn't care in saving both of you. This is where both of them kind of had their hearts a little bit broken. Naruto says, because it wasn't a job for a kid like me to do. Besides, it was for grown-ups to do. But, for being a grown-up, they're pretty much idiotics. This is where Naruto says, but you're welcome. This is where Naruto started walking further. This is where, well, Umi and Hinata say, Naruto. They stutter multiple times. This is where Naruto turns around and says, yeah? Do you need something? This is where, well, Naruto has his hood on. Well, kind of his hood on. He has his hood and his back. And of course, his hair is showing to be black, but with yellow at the same time. Yellow highlights. This is where Naruto says, you need something? This is where his whisker marks are gone, but they haven't actually noticed it. And of course, they say, they both say, do, do, do you want to live with us? Or with my clan? They both said it at the same time. And Naruto says, you two have separate clans. I can't live in both clans unless they're right next to each other, which I doubt that. The Hyugas are too prideful, and Umi's clan, I have no fucking clue. I knew the Uchiha clan was actual way too much arrogant, but I don't care. This is where Umi and say, you should just live with me. My clan isn't prideful. She's starting really bad because, well, she sees Naruto, and of course she was kind of Naruto's first friend, but now seeing Naruto now, she's actually having way too many kind of thoughts of Naruto. This is where, well, she remembers Naruto being kind of adorable when they were younger, but now seeing Naruto is kind of making her more, well, different. This is where she doesn't think of Naruto like a friend. She's thinking Naruto more of a kind of husband material. But then again, Naruto's not husband material. Naruto is just more chill, but doesn't care much of things. This is where Naruto says, look here, both of you. I don't care what to do. Pretty much, you can do whatever. You can ask me out, you can do this or that. I don't really care. I wouldn't say yes and I wouldn't say no. I would just be neutral. So, I don't know. That's where, well, Naruto says, it's for you two to decide, not for me to decide. If you want me in your clan, you can try to force me into your clan, which is impossible because I'm going to beat the shit out of anyone to try to attack me. But yeah, this is where Hinata realized that her clan would definitely try to attack Naruto. And this is where Hinata says, Umi should have you then. It's fine. My clan would definitely try to attack you. You should definitely live with Umi. This is where Naruto looks at her. Seeing that Hinata's having her heart kind of broken, saying those words, because she did look up to Naruto, but when Naruto disappeared 5 years ago, she doesn't really know what to say. This is where Naruto sighs and says, look here, both of you. We're still 12 years old. Definitely I'm 12 years old. You two must be 12 at the same time. But we're still too young. And dating each other, you realize we're still too young, and there's no way in hell we're going to be dating. Besides, we're too young, we're too experienced, and, well, we don't actually know what we're going to decide in the future. Besides, I might be deciding to be a ninja, I might be deciding to be a martial artist teacher. Who knows? The future might experience to be different or not. This is where Naruto says, but I'll be waiting when I actually turn, 17. Until your answer deciding. Besides, don't fight each other, don't try to kill each other. I don't really like that. And also, do not try to compete for my affection. I don't really like that. This is where, well, Naruto just says, let's just stay friends for a while. Besides, I don't really have the interest of dating people. Not yet. This is where Umi and Hinata nodded, and so decides to follow Naruto wherever Naruto went after Naruto's talk. Of course, they kind of start, Umi and Hinata started talking to each other and not being shy around each other because they realize they're both shy and they can't really make fun of each other even if they wanted to try because they wouldn't because they're way too nice to each other. And of course, where they talk to Naruto sometimes and ask Naruto some questions of like, where have you been? Where have you went? Have you ate this? Have you eaten at all? Have you did this, that? And of course, it kind of did turn into 6 o'clock, then 7 o'clock, while Naruto was walking around the what's it called village. Naruto just took money away from civilians and started paying for food. And of course, Umi and Hinata were wondering what Naruto did to get money, which Naruto just been stealing people's money easily. He kind of got the habit of stealing people's money from, well, a place that me and Naruto went. Naruto remember a girl with orange hair kind of being nice to him and also telling him how to steal people's money so easily. She did it to, well, her crewmates and even people that, well, Naruto and her kind of walked by, mostly the rich people. And that was Nami. Nami just smiles at Naruto, telling what's called Naruto how to steal people's, well, wallets, money, and all them other stuff and jewelry. This is where Naruto, he actually took a habit to kind of doing that also. He's easily just taking people's money and not caring at all. This is where Naruto keep doing that. And of course, Naruto's pockets, they haven't even filled up because he has seals on his hand to actually put those where at. And of course, Umi and Hinata are kind of just eating kind of like ice cream and all that. Naruto already ate his ice cream because, yeah. Of course, this is where, well, today is a day where, well, the academy might start tomorrow, but today is not the academy. And this is where, well, Umi and, well, Hinata saw, well, none of her clan near her yet. And besides, her clan hasn't woken up yet. This is where, well, Umi's clan hasn't woken up either. But yeah. This is where, well, what's it called? Umi kind of saw some people from, well, the academy because Umi does go to the academy. Umi says, "Wait, hey!" This is where she kind of ran past both Hinata and Naruto straight towards, well, her friends, and this is where, well, her friend kind of turns around. Well, two of her friends turns around. Well, not two, three mostly. This is where one girl has blonde hair and dull blue eyes. Another one has very crystallized blue eyes and whitish hair. And this is where another one has, well, black hair but crimson red eyes. This is where, not crimson red eyes, ruby red eyes. Oh, well, the other one was sapphire blue eyes, but yeah, the one with the white hair. This is where they turn around, and this is where the blonde hair with dull blue eyes hugs Umi and says, "Umi, I heard that you were being attacked, and I'm sorry that I couldn't help you. My parents wouldn't let me." And this is where her other two friends say, "Yeah, same." This is where Umi says, "It's fine. What's it called? What's it called? She says it's fine." She was kind of crying a little bit. "It's fine, Junko-san, Raven-san, and even what's it called? Kaya-san. It's fine. I got saved. It was okay. I was scared a little bit, but luckily my friend saved me." This is where Junko says, "Saved by who? Could it be a prince?" Well, not Junko didn't say that. Mostly it was Kaya. This is where Raven says, "No, she could have been saved by a demon. You know, demons are cooler than a prince." This is where Junko says, "I kind of agree with Raven more. Maybe it was a creature, like a animal saving Umi-san." This is where, well, they kind of started bickering with each other. This is where, well, Naruto walks past, well, Umi and says, "Well, I'm gonna go do something, Umi. You can talk with Hinata. I gotta do something." This is where Umi says, "Wait, Naruto." This is where Naruto says, "Yeah." This is where all girls stop bickering and sees Naruto, and Naruto's crystallized blue eyes, that like they're really crystallized blue eyes, more than original canon, are kind of staring at Umi's kind of blue eyes, and this is where Umi says, thank you again for saving me. That's all. This is where Hinata kind of nodded also, kind of blushing a little bit, and this is where Naruto says, okay, well, hope you make friends with Hinata since she is kind of shy with newer people. This is where newer people, not newer people, or whatever I said. This is where, well, Umi says, yeah, come on, Hinata. This is where Hinata nodded. This is where Naruto disappeared in lightning, in a burst of lightning and also darkness. Like he disappears in both elements. Kind of now appearing right in front of the Hokage Tower. This is where Naruto saw the secretary, and the secretary says, hey, you can't go up there. This is where Naruto says, bitch, you don't tell me what to do. This is where Naruto said it in such a deep voice that she shut the fuck up and started writing her, or whatever, report. This is where Naruto, he goes up to the, well, office, the Hokage office. This is where, well, Hiruzen was talking to someone with white hair, red clothing, what's it called, wooden sandals, and saying, so, old man, what happened to you? Why do you look so depressed? Look like you had a midlife crisis. Hiruzen says, Jiraiya, it's just, oh, Jiraiya, it's just been, well, hard, I would say. Yeah, Jiraiya says, why? This is where, when Hiruzen was about to explain, the door hinges just broke in an instantly, and the door flew straight to Jiraiya and Hiruzen. Jiraiya decides Rasengan, breaks it through the, well, door, kind of just smashing it into a million pieces, and thinking that a ninja attacked. What attacked was a kid with, well, what's it called, some blonde highlights, but mostly black, crystallized blue eyes, and is smiling with this evil grin. What I'm talking about, it kind of looks like, well, it's when Sasuke kind of like grins and then smiles with that evil smile. But yeah, Naruto does that. He kind of just smiles and then evil smile, like. So, Hiruzen, how's my favorite old man, my 500-year-old grandfather figure doing? This is what Hiruzen says. Listen, you little brat. You gave me a crisis last time, but look here. I have nothing to say to you, but I'm not old, you brat. This is where Naruto says, okay, what's with the 150-year-old man here? That's where Jiraiya goes, I'm not 150, you brat. I'm not Hiruzen. I'm not 500. This is what Hiruzen says. Listen up, you two little brats. I am not that old. This is where Naruto says, seems pretty old to me. He kind of whispers to Jiraiya. Jiraiya whispers back and he says, yeah, that is true. He's probably more than 500. He's probably 1,000. This is where a scroll kind of was thrown both to Naruto and Jiraiya. Naruto ducked while Jiraiya gets hit in the head. This is where Jiraiya says, ow, you old bastard. This is where Hiruzen says, listen up. I am not old. How many times do I have to tell you, you little brats? This is where Jiraiya says, I'm not little. I'm definitely, 32. This is where Hiruzen says, don't bullshit yourself, Jiraiya. I know you're 50. This is where Jiraiya says, at least I'm 50, then being 500 years, he almost gets it again. This is where Naruto's like, 50. Pretty old, it's not gonna lie. This is where, well, Jiraiya says, yeah, but I still look good, don't I? This is where Naruto says, okay, hey Hiruzen, what's it called? So can I have my old apartments, or did it get destroyed after I left? This is where Hiruzen cringed a little bit because yes, the apartments did get destroyed. This is where Hiruzen says, hey Naruto, it did get destroyed. So, I actually want to ask you this question. What are you going to do when you graduate the academy? Do you want to be a ninja or a martial artist teacher? This is where Hiruzen falls down his face plants. Jiraiya cringes because he knows that this is Naruto now because Hiruzen did say his name. And this is where, well, Naruto says, well, I want to be teaching students how to fight against Anbus, Jonins, with the same strength of level of just being a normal civilian. Or mostly a martial artist civilian. Wouldn't that be great? Naruto says, Naruto, I think that's a terrible idea. This is where Naruto says, nah, that seems like a good idea. Knocking out Anbus with one kick. Yeah! This is where the Anbus, who was there at that time when they got their asses kicked, except for Yuga, who was also there in the office hiding, those almost felt their head kind of spin when they got kicked. They're like, oh, that's a terrible idea. They're right now just rubbing their head. This is where Yuga says, the kid has an actually amazing dream. This is where, Horizon says, pick another dream. Naruto is wondering, what is Naruto going to say now? A murderer. This is where Haru's face plants to the ground. Jiraiya crunches again and say, what kind of murderer? A murderer to leave civilians. Yeah. This is where Haru says, pick another one. Less murdering. Naruto says, a casino owner. This is where Harusen Jiraiya crunches again and says, pick something else. Vegetable seller? No. Naruto. Something that starts with an N. An N. Ooh, a nitro seller. You know that nitrogen, oxygen, what's it called? The thing that freezes everything in an instant? Yeah, I can be that. This is where Harusen Jiraiya just face plants and says, no, Naruto. Something with an Ninja. A ninja supply seller. Yes, that's true, Harusen. I can be that. This is where Harusen Jiraiya says, you little brat, you could be a fucking ninja. This is where, Naruto says, why would I be a ninja? I'm not that powerful. I'm not that strong, even though I'm the 9th Shinchuriki. I don't want to kill anyone. This is where they say, kill anyone? You just said you wanted to be a murderer. Naruto laughs and says, I mean, yeah, that is true. So much easier just to kill people without them seeing me. There's a word that says, okay, this kid is crazy. Naruto says, sure, I'll be a ninja. And then after a couple of years of being a ninja, maybe I'll retire when I'm 14. And then I can start my martial artist tournament, or most of my martial artist dojos. Here's a word they like face plant again, and they say, Naruto, you're not doing that. Naruto says, fine. Fine, I'll be a ninja. Harusen says, okay, promise me you won't retire when you're 14. No promises, Naruto said. Harusen says, fine, whatever. Sign here. Naruto does, and he goes to the, academy the next day. But Naruto says, so where am I gonna live? In the Shinobi apartments, okay? And, okay, fine. This is where, Harusen kind of brings him towards in apartments that hasn't actually been, what's it called, repaired in a while. It's not even, like, near any Genin houses, Shinobis, or even, Chunins, or Jonins, or Anbus, or anything like that. It's kind of this apartments that's been broken down for a little bit. And Harusen says this. Naruto says, yeah, I'd rather be sleeping on the tree. Come on, Naruto. I will tell Anbus to repair it later, okay? Naruto says, fine, whatever. Also, they better be dodging my traps, since, I'm gonna be setting up a lot of traps. But, okay, bye. This is what Harusen cringed, because he remembers those, like, pranks and traps that Naruto made when he was younger. He was like, wait, Naruto, no. Naruto goes inside, closes the door, and yeah. Harusen is horrified what his Anbus are going to be experienced, but yeah. But of course, this is where the next day happens and Naruto's going to the academy. But this is where I'm going to leave it off for part 2 of What If Naruto Was Trained by LordPotato. Also, my throat has been hurting, so of course I'm going to be leaving it off here. But yeah, bye-bye. Potato, and bye.